There it is. There's the rock. You look for the rock. Right, girl?
Did you put the pretty one out?
That's a different video.
Did you already put one out?
That's a different video.
Okay.
Fall in line.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, all right, everybody. This is one of the most beautiful gorges in the neighborhood. Well, when I say in the neighborhood, I mean between Idaho and Wyoming, right? I just love this run through here, even in the winter. It's just so pretty. But that's where we are right now, over here in Utah. The girl is sleeping her hind end off, and I think the lady flu's coming. She's been awful cranky, but I'm just gonna deal with that. You know, you gotta. Oh, ain't they critters? They are just critters. But we got 834 miles to go to Seattle. I'm gonna knock out another 300 of that at least, and then I will throw her in the driver's seat. I'm sure she might be grumpy about it. No, she won't be grumpy. She's a good girl. But she does have her issues, don't she? I changed the camera mount and I'm using a camera that, well, I'm sorry, a telephone that I had some issues with in the past, but I really like the widescreen on it, and that's what I'm using today. Hopefully it's going to capture everything okay and not wobble too much. I don't know. We're going to see about that. I might have to throw this away. And I'm not going to cut this out because you know I hate editing out exactly what I'm saying at any given time. We're not going to be able to do any riding in Seattle, I don't believe. I got a dentist appointment on Monday where I had that root canal, and they've got to go back in and, you know, fix the little hole in the tooth, whatever, unplug it and plug it up with the real thing. So we won't even be delivering on Monday, but that's okay. And since I'm gonna be home on Friday, if I get a direct load right back out of Seattle, then I think I'm going to take that safety motorcycles course. Because, guys, y'all know, I've been driving motorcycles forever. I've never had a license. I'm just an outlaw. No, I've always most of the time had a permit when I was riding. Most of the time. Okay, I'm a little bit of an outlaw. Take me to church or jail or somewhere else. I've sinned in the eyes of the law. Oh, well. Anyway, if I get that class, I won't have to take the test, and I can just, you know, they're actually, if you take the certification test, you don't have to take the motorcycle driving test, because they give it to you there. Apparently they're certified or whatever. And I think everywhere in the country does that, because like I asked my state, and they was like, yeah, you can do the certification anywhere as long as you have the certificate saying that you completed it. So that's my intentions. I'll get there on Friday, be done with the class on Sunday, and then go back to work after my dentist appointment on Monday. Deliver on Tuesday morning. Hopefully get a load back out. You know that ain't gonna happen. It never happens like that. It's like we always gotta sit for 2 or 3 days. But last week turned out real good. We hauled that load to West Virginia from Seattle. Remember, we started the week out. We was hauling sailboat fuel back, and then we dropped down to Salt Lake and picked up 2 engines, one going to Nashville and one going to West Virginia. Dropped off there. Was supposed to pick up the next day going to Seattle, and that load ended up changing and going to the airplane, which y'all seen in the last video. And then we came back that night and reloaded for Seattle, and we did end up with 2 days of layover pay in there, which I'm spectacular with. It bumped this run up when I have to go home anyway. So, you know, it would have been bad if I had ended up back in Illinois on Wednesday and had to stay home till Monday, right? This way I'm going to get there, do my weekend thing, get Monday taken care of, and go back to work. Keep the money rolling, because in these hard times you got to keep the damn money rolling, and that's what we're doing. The girls got me putting out these rocks up here today, and I'll show y'all a rock that I'm going to put out later when I stop. You won't know I stopped. You'll think that I made the first part of the video in the beginning, but what it is I'm going to make it all later. So y'all stay tuned for the girls' Rockapalooza. If this camera seems to be wiggling around a little bit, that's because the truck now has 109,000 miles on it, and I'm going to have to do a review on that. But I'll go ahead and tell you now that with this 14,005 steer axle in the front, you can't run regular tires or you'll blow them out because they're just not rated for that. But I've got 13.5s on here, which are rated for, or 13-15 tires, which are wider than 24.5s, and they're rated for 14.5. But you got to keep 120 pounds of air pressure in them, and they only last about 100,000 miles. So I'm going to have to stop on the way out of Seattle and replace these front tires. You heard the girl was talking about a noise on the dash. Well, that's because the front tires still look great, but the outside edges of them are starting to wear a little bit, and there's not anything I can do about it. I've never tried rotating steer tires, so I don't know if that would work. I'm not even going to try it. They're $1,500 for 2 new ones. I did I'm thinking about going to the 350s, but in order to go to the 350s, you got to buy the big 9-inch rims, like you see on dump trucks and stuff, and the tires. Well, that's $4,000 to make that change. You got 2 rims and 2 tires, $4,000. I'm not willing to come off that much jack right now, so I'm going to come off the 1500, put the same tires back on here, but maybe a slightly better brand. Well, I mean, the brand is great, but the slightly different design, I should say, of the tire, and see if I can't get another 100,000 miles. That would actually work out really good, although the other tires would save me money in the long run. But I just don't want to come off $4,000 right now. I know I should. Y'all can smack me for being a cheap bastard, but y'all know I'm a cheap bastard. But I think it'll be alright. And then this camera won't have any wigglage. It'll run smooth as a clock. That's the way we like it. Mountain Home Pilot. Boy, Idaho, right? Mountain Home, Idaho. You know where it's at. If you don't know where it's at, look it up. Oh, where's it gonna be? Where's it gonna be? So nobody sees it. Seen the pump 20. There it is.
See that? It was all good, and then it washed me out as soon as it started.
Flash it. Flash me.
Pale white girl problems. It's bright out, guys. Bright. My glasses are filthy. Where we at? Idaho?
Mountain Home.
Mountain Home, Idaho. Guys, I stopped last night and took a nap. I know it's very unlike me. We're a little bit concerned, but occasionally naps are good. I don't know what's got into me.
You're just getting old?
I'm 26. How old are you, old man?
12.
Oh, now we're getting into a little bit too young realm there. They'll be coming after me. Oh, these classes are horrible. So we're in Idaho. It's actually not as cold as I thought it would be. And we're still on our way to Seattle.
But we'll be there shortly.
What, 500 and some change?
Yeah.
So I will probably get there. And then we'll unload. And hopefully get us a load to turn right back around.
I hope so. Well, we
I
gotta
hope
go
so
home
too.
and hopefully take that motorcycle course.
I've already taken a motorcycle course.
Oh, I know. Go ahead, braggart.
It's not my fault. I have already taken the motorcycle course and got the certificate. And there's your, look at the whole swarm of birds running this way.
It's the
Do you see them?
It's the
They're running this way.
It's the covey of quail.
If y'all are come out here In this corner over here, we seen them moving when we took the dogs out. There's a whole covey of quail that just roam around everywhere. And I'm easily amused, so I am very intrigued by the covey of quail going everywhere. There's doves with them too. See the one flying away, and see that one right there? It was on the back of that truck hanging out with quail. I don't know, I get amused
The two
by
best tasting birds in the lot are hanging out together.
So you know you can always come here and get something to eat. That one kind of looks like a roadrunner standing on top there.
Hey, she says so. It must
Roadrunners aren't up here. It looks taller and thinner though. What are you doing?
be. Oh, I'm having trouble with this.
I tell you what, he don't pay me near enough attention when he should.
Well, I'm using this other phone for nefarious activity. No, it's not nefarious. It's just got a wide-angled lens, so I'm using it to film some stuff.
What?
They don't want to sign in.
Wait, listen. You hear it? It's Walter drinking my coffee.
They don't hear
Because
it.
he's a heathen. Yeah, my coffee, Walter.
Walter is not part of the heathen pack.
He's part of the old person pack.
Yeah.
Walter will fight him for Vicks. He drinks coffee.
I'm addicted to Big Sass. I am.
What else does he do that's old people?
He wants to stay in bed.
Well, I want to stay in bed too.
See?
And I'm old.
There you go.
My 26-year-old self.
Yeah.
I bet if I got some Good and Plenty's, or some burnt peanuts, or some Boston baked beans, which is what I consider candy, but what he tells me is old people candy, I bet Walter would enjoy them too. Because Walter has the soul of an old person.
You're on keto. You don't get baked beans or any of that stuff.
Guess what I got? Boston baked beans are candy. They're peanuts. They're not even beans. But I got lilies. Chocolate. Mmm. Be jealous. No, you don't get none. I'll see you guys.
You
But
should
I'll be in Seattle. No, you will eat the whole thing and then I won't have any left.
I just want a little bite.
I'm keeping them for myself.